Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Getting higher or more vigorous. It's an up market. To a later time. They moved the meeting date up. Spatially or metaphorically from a lower to a higher position. Look up. Out of bed. Up by 7 each morning. Extending or moving toward a higher place. The up staircase. Being or moving higher in position or greater in some value. Being above a former position or level. The anchor is up. Open. The windows are up. Raise. Up the ante. Used of computers, operating properly. How soon will the computers be up? Used up. Time is up. Usually followed by on, or for, in readiness. He was up on his homework. To a higher intensity. He turned up the volume. To a more central or a more northerly place. Was transferred up to headquarters. Getting higher or more vigorous. An improving economy. To a later time. From childhood upward. Spatially or metaphorically from a lower to a higher position. The fragments flew upwards. Extending or moving toward a higher place. A general upward movement of fish. Directed up. The cards were face upward. To a later time. Spatially or metaphorically from a lower to a higher position. The fragments flew upwards. Spatially or metaphorically from a lower to a higher position. Upwardly mobile. On the move. The whole town was astir over the incident. Out of bed. Are they astir yet? Organized opposition to authority. A conflict in which one faction tries to wrest control from another. A movement upward. Sloping upward. Coming to maturity. The rising generation. Advancing or becoming higher or greater in degree or value or status. A rising trend. Newly come into prominence. A rising young politician. Stop sleeping. Mentally perceptive and responsive. Awake to the dangers of her situation. Not in a state of sleep, completely conscious. Lay awake thinking about his new job. The act of changing location in an upward direction. Moving or going or growing upward. The ascending plane. Toward the sky. Look skywards. Directed toward heaven or the sky. Of growing vegetation, having just emerged from the ground. The corn is sprouted. Heading in any direction that is conventionally up. Upbound shipping lanes. Of e.g. celestial bodies, above the horizon. The risen sun. Away from the defending team's end of the playing field. Toward heaven. He pointed heavenward. Directed toward heaven or the sky. The soul in its heavenward flight. Having the leading position or higher score in a contest. Leading or ahead in a competition. Our candidate is in the lead in the polls. The activity of leading. Indicating the most important performer or role. The leading man. Having the leading position or higher score in a contest. The leading team in the pennant race. Greatest in importance or degree or significance or achievement. The country's leading poet. Thin strip of metal used to separate lines of type in printing. Going or proceeding or going in advance, showing the way. We rode in the leading car. Having the leading position or higher score in a contest. He is ahead by a pawn. Leading or ahead in a competition. The horse was 3 lengths ahead going into the home stretch. At or in the front. I see the lights of a town ahead. In a forward direction. Go ahead. Ahead of time, in anticipation. When you pay ahead, or in advance, you receive a discount. Toward the future, forward in time. I like to look ahead in imagination to what the future may bring. Of an anchor, just clear of the bottom. Used of an anchor, hanging clear of the bottom. Anchors aweigh. In match play a side that stands as many holes ahead as there are holes remaining to be played. He was Dormy 3 and still lost the match. In match play a side that stands as many holes ahead as there are holes remaining to be played. Embellished with a raised pattern created by pressure or embroidery. Raised needlework. Increased in amount or degree. Raised temperature. Located or moved above the surround or above the normal position. A raised design. Process or manner of functioning or operating. Performing or able to perform its regular function. A functioning flashlight. Brought to ruin. After the revolution, the aristocracy was finished. Ended or brought to an end. Are you finished? Having a surface coating or finish applied. The finished bookcase costs much more than the unfinished ones. Of materials or goods, brought to the desired final state. A finished product. Of skills or the products of skills, brought to or having the greatest excellence, perfected. A dazzling and finished piece of writing. Having made preparations. Prepared to take risks. Equipped or prepared with necessary intellectual resources. Made ready or fit or suitable beforehand. A prepared statement. A high place. They stood on high and observed the countryside. Slightly and pleasantly intoxicated from alcohol or a drug, especially marijuana. Happy and excited and energetic. In a rich manner. He lives high. Used of the smell of meat, smelling spoiled or tainted. Used of sounds and voices, high in pitch or frequency. At a great altitude. He climbed high on the ladder. A public secondary school usually including grades 9 through 12. He goes to the neighborhood high school. Standing above others in quality or position. People in high places. A forward gear with a gear ratio that gives the greatest vehicle velocity for a given engine speed. A lofty level or position or degree. Summer temperatures reached an all-time high. An air mass of higher than normal pressure. The East Coast benefits from a Bermuda high. A state of altered consciousness induced by alcohol or narcotics. They took drugs to get a high on. A state of sustained elation. I'm on a permanent high these days. Greater than normal in degree or intensity or amount. A high temperature. Literal meaning: being at or having a relatively great or specific elevation or upward extension, sometimes used in combinations like knee-high. A high mountain. The amount by which something increases. They proposed an increase of 15% in the fare. The act of increasing something. He gave me an increase in salary. A quantity that is added. A process of becoming larger or longer or more numerous or more important. The increase in unemployment. A change resulting in an increase. The increase is scheduled for next month. Become bigger or greater in amount. The amount of work increased. Make bigger or more. The boss finally increased her salary. A machine for performing calculations automatically. An expert at calculation, or at operating calculating machines. A machine for performing calculations automatically. A machine for performing calculations automatically. A machine for performing calculations automatically.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.